Hello everyone, we are from Group 3. Here's our group members, and our title of article is Unraveling the Language and Ideology, a critical discourse analysis of Kemendikbudristek number 30 in 2021. So in this presentation we will explain how Fairclough critical discourse analysis is used to examine ideological position of Republican newspaper in reporting Kemendikbudristek number 30 in 2021, which addresses prevention and handling the sexual violence in higher education. Some groups argue that this regulation may legitimize premarital sexual relation or zina. They are concerned about undermining the true essence of sexual violence, which should not be justified under any circumstances, even with the concept of victim consent.
Okay, the next one is the overview of Fairclough's approach. The first one is text analysis. The text is used to represent something that contains a certain ideology so that the text is disassembled linguistically. Because it wants to see how something reality is displayed or shaped in the text, which may lead to a certain ideology. And the second one is discursive practice. Discursive practice is a dimension related to the process of production and consumption of text. The text production process is more directed at the creator of the text. This process is attached to experience, knowledge, habits, social environment, conditions, circumstances, context, and so on that are close to the text maker. And the third one is sociocultural practice. Sociocultural is a dimension related to context outside the text, like the context of the situation, context related to society or culture, and certain politics that affect the presence of the text.
And the next slide is step-by-step data analysis process. The first step is data collection with the method using qualitative descriptive with a critical discourse analysis, of course. And it shows 13 Republika articles in November 5, December 2021, from 5 news reports, 4 main reports, 1 expert opinion, and 2 editorials. With a linguistic corpus analysis, identified key terms like Permendikbudristek number 68, sexual violence number 67, victim consent number 29, refusal number 14, and etc. With a user's Landbox corpus tool for frequency and discourse patterns. The second step is contextual analysis. There is 3 main points in this analysis. First is social context, highlight the tension between government policy and religious groups. Republika aligns with the Islamic scholar opposing the regulation. The second is cultural context. It frames regulation as a conflicting with Islamic teachings and Indonesian values. And the third is historical context, show resistance to progressive policies and long-standing religious influence in public policy debates. The third is discourse analysis with a Fairclough CDA model, of course. Also, there is 3 important points in here. The first is textual analysis, identifies lexical choice, like criticism, rejection, controversy. It reveals a predominantly negative framing of the regulation. The second is discursive practice. Republika amplifies religious scholar opinions. It uses intertextuality, references to Islamic teaching and previous policies to legitimize opposition. And the third is social practice. Republika positions itself as an Islamic moral authority, resisting perceived Western liberal influences. And the fourth step is ideological analysis. The first is lexical choice. Frequent use negative words like a polemic, withdrawal, revision. The second is framing and agenda setting, with prioritized voice critical of the regulation while minimizing supportive perspective. Uses modality, epistemic, like certainty and versus doubt, example should be revoked. The second is deontic obligation, example like Islam forbid this. The third one is intentional, like hopes and requests, with example I hope it is cancelled. The fourth is dynamic, expressing ability, like example minister is confident this will be beneficial. So in dynamic modality, it shows the minister ability that the confident this will be beneficial. And the last step is interpretation of findings. With language and ideology, it shows 92% of headlines have a negative tone, reinforcing resistance of the regulation. And the second is power and hegemony. Republika challenge government authority, favoring religious perspective. And the last is social resistance, highlighting opposition to progressive gender policies, preserving traditional norm. That's all. And the next, it will be delivering by Muhammad Rizki.
Now I'm going explain the example. So the first one is step data collection. These are the 30 articles from Republika from November 5 until 12, 2021. Example, Permendikbud Ristek number 13 dikritik at November 5, 2021. The criticism is the regulation allegedly legalized extramarital relation under consent. So the finding is 12 out of 3 articles had a negative stance showing agenda setting. Step 2. Contextual analysis. Republika reflects Indonesia's social, cultural, and religious value. Example, Republika utilizes its influence to gather Islamic expert views, framing the regulation as a contradicting Islamic teaching. The finding, the media reinforce conservative values in policy discussion. The step 3, discourse analysis. This step has 3 examples. Number 1 is textual analysis. The dominance of negative words, rejection, controversy, criticism. Corpus data Permendikbud is 80 violence, 72 criticism, 10 etc. And B, discursive practice. Opposition voice amplified, supports, minimized. Example, Prabowo Santoso interview was framed to emphasize cultural bias in policy. 3. Social practice. Example, Ijtima Ulama views the regulation as contrary to Sharia, Pancasila, and national value. The finding, media discourse highlight a clash between secular governance and religious authority. Step 4. Ideological analysis. Modality in language, deontic or obligation. Ijtima Ulama asked the government to revoke the regulation. Intentional or certainty. The policy should have been tested before enactment. The third is dynamic or ability. The Ulama views the policy as against national value. The last is intentional or request. Call for revision reflect ideological authority. And the last one is step 5, interpretation of finding. Language constructs power and influence public perception. For example, if someone is reported negatively repeatedly, the public adopts that views. The finding is media framing reinforce ideological power structure. Thank you. And the next is conclusion, will explained by Taufik.
Alright, for the conclusion, this study was conducted to reveal several reports published by the Republika newspaper regarding to the Permendikbud Ristek Dikti number 30 of 2021 in various texts according to structure of the text and various types of the news. And discourse analysis in this study used Verilog AWK model 1989 through 1985. This study produced the following conclusion. So in this modality analysis, the use of modalities in the news text studied is dominated by epistemic modalities compared to the other 3 modalities: intentional, deontic, and dynamic. The use of these modalities in positive or negative sentence represent a certain ideology. And these findings suggest the need for future research on media bias across different platforms. including digital and social media as well, as audience reception studies to understand how discourse affect public opinion. Ultimately, the study underscores the importance of critical media literacy, urging these readers to recognize how language and discourse contribute to ideological struggles and social change. And that's it for the conclusion, and that's it for our presentation. Thank you very much.